Hey, welcome! So today, we're jumping into this incredible story about how a really big failure can actually become the launchpad for a brand new, even greater purpose. It's a powerful story about denial, forgiveness, and one heck of a comeback.
And that question right there is what this whole explainer is all about. I mean, we've all had those moments, right? The ones we wish we could just rewind and do over. But what if those failures aren't the end? What if they're actually the beginning of something way more real? That's what we're going to explore.
All right, so to really get the power of the restoration, you first have to understand just how deep the failure was. This whole account takes place on the shore of the Sea of Galilee, next to a charcoal fire. Now, you have to know that setting would have been a gut punch for Peter, because it would have instantly reminded him of another charcoal fire, the one where he denied he even knew Jesus.
Can you just imagine where Peter's head was at? This is the guy who swore, "I will die for you, Jesus." But when push came to shove, fear won. He's absolutely crushed by shame, probably feeling like the world's biggest fraud. So what does he do? He just goes back to the only thing he knows, fishing. He probably figures his time as a disciple is completely over.
Okay, now this is where things get really interesting. To truly get this conversation, you've got to know a little about the original Greek words being used. When Jesus first asked Peter, "Do you love me?" he uses the word agape. That's like divine, unconditional, perfect love. He sets the bar way up here. But Peter, totally humbled and broken, can only answer back with phileo, which is more like brotherly affection, a human love. This little detail is absolutely the key to the whole exchange. So with that in mind, let's walk through the actual dialogue that happens on that beach. It's this powerful, almost poetic back and forth that just completely changes everything for Peter.
So Jesus' first question is just packed with meaning. Do you love me more than these? More than what exactly? These fish, these boats, his whole career? More than these other guys, his fellow disciples? It's a huge question. It's basically asking Peter to get his priorities straight right here and now.
And this is just so important to get. Jesus isn't there to shame Peter. He's not trying to rub his face in his mistake. He's meeting him exactly where he is. He's not focused on the past failure. He's asking about the love that's in his heart right now. It's a gentle invitation to start the healing process. Then, he asks a second time, and that repetition starts to build. You can almost feel Jesus gently and persistently working on this wound in Peter's soul, giving him another chance to say it, to affirm that love. And Peter's response? Wow, it says so much. That old, boastful confidence, it's completely gone. All that's left is this raw, humble honesty. He doesn't make any more big promises. He just points to what Jesus already knows is true in his heart. That despite everything, his genuine affection, his phileo love, is real.
The third question, this one hits Peter hard. The Bible says he was grieved. He was hurt by it. And why? Because a third question directly mirrors his three denials. It's forcing him to look his failure right in the eye, but not for punishment.
And that's it, right there. The whole structure is completely intentional. 3 denials are wiped clean by 3 confessions of love. It's a complete restoration for a complete failure. The healing is total. The slate is wiped clean.
But, this incredible moment of personal healing wasn't the final destination. It was actually just the preparation for what was coming next. Peter's restoration was immediately tied to a brand new commission. Think about it. After each time Peter says, "Yes, I love you," Jesus gives him a job to do. And notice the progression. First, feed the little lambs. Then, take care of the whole flock. Finally, feed the mature sheep. His love isn't just a feeling, it's immediately channeled into action, into responsibility. That restored love becomes the fuel for his new life's mission.
And I mean, just look at this transformation. It's night and day. The guy who literally ran away in fear becomes the bedrock of the early church. The one who gave up and went back to his old job is now put in charge of caring for people. His greatest failure didn't kick him out of the game. It was the humbling experience that actually prepared him to be a real leader.
So if you take one thing away from this story, let it be this. The mission, the purpose, the work we're meant to do, it doesn't start with how strong we are or how talented we are. It starts with a restored relationship. It all has to be grounded in love.
So, let's bring it all home. What are the big takeaways from this encounter? How can you and I actually apply this story to our own lives?
Well, the Gospel of John, which is our source for this whole story, actually gives us 3 key points to really help us lock in its deeper meaning.
Let's break these down real quick. First, love is the starting point. The mission flows out of our love. Jesus didn't say, "Go feed my sheep and then I'll believe you love me." Nope, love came first. Second, don't compare your journey to someone else's. Later, Peter gets distracted and asks about another disciple, and Jesus basically says, "Hey, what's that to you? You just follow me. Our paths are our own." And finally, this isn't just a nice story. The writer makes a point to say that this record is true, that it was written down so you could build your faith on it.
And so we end right back where we started, with the question pointed at you. This story shows us that no failure has to be the final word. From a place of humble, honest love, a brand new purpose can absolutely begin. The only question left is the one Jesus asks on that beach, and the one he might just be asking you today.